Welcome, friends, to another episode of the Country Compendium. This time, we're slinging our carry-ons over our shoulders and jetting off to a place where the music is hot, the food is hotter, and the vibes are the hottest thing going. We're going to Trinidad and Tobago. Now, for those of you who like your destination served 2 for 1, you're in luck. Trinidad and Tobago, these twin islands floating in the Caribbean, offer a 1-2 punch of cultural diversity, vibrant festivals, and the kind of natural beauty that'll make you want to ditch your phone, forget about your troubles, and just be. So loosen your belts, grab a drink, and settle in as we embark on a journey to uncover the soul of Trinidad and Tobago, from its historical landmarks and natural wonders to its cultural experiences, and you already know it, the local eats that'll have you licking your fingers and begging for seconds.
Alright, let's get into it. Trinidad and Tobago, 2 islands, 2 distinct personalities, 1 fascinating history. See, Trinidad, the larger of the 2, has this whole melting pot thing going on. We're talking indigenous peoples, African slaves, Indian, Chinese, European influences, all simmering together to create this unique blend of culture and cuisine. Tobago, on the other hand, well, she's a bit more laid back. Historically, it was all about the sugar cane, but these days, Tobago is all about kicking back on pristine beaches, diving into coral reefs teeming with life, and escaping, well, everything. But here's the thing about history, and trust me, I've seen my fair share of it. It's never neat and tidy. It's messy, it's complicated, and it leaves its fingerprints everywhere. And believe me, Trinidad and Tobago have stories to tell.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. Getting to Trinidad and Tobago ain't like hopping on a bus to the next town. It's a journey. But here's the thing about journeys. The best ones always are. Your main point of entry is Piarco International Airport in Trinidad. Now, depending on where you're coming from, you might be looking at a connecting flight. But hey, consider it a chance to stretch your legs, grab another drink, maybe even strike up a conversation with a local. You never know what stories you might hear. Now, if you're planning on hitting up Tobago right off the bat, no worries, you can catch a short flight from Trinidad over to the ANR Robinson International Airport. Or if you're feeling adventurous and you've got some time to kill, hop on the ferry. It's a bit slower, sure, but it gives you a chance to take in the scenery, feel the Caribbean breeze on your face. And listen, nobody wants to hear about visa requirements. It's about as exciting as watching paint dry. But a little planning goes a long way. Check the latest visa regulations before you book your flight. Trust me, the last thing you want is to get all the way to the airport only to find out you can't get in. Listen, I've slept in some pretty rough places in my time, and I've also had the privilege of staying in some of the most luxurious hotels in the world. But here's the thing, it's not about thread count or room service. It's about finding a place that feels right, a place that feels like home, even if it's just for a night or two. In Trinidad and Tobago, you've got options. Want to wake up to the sound of waves crashing on the shore? Plenty of beachfront resorts and guest houses will cater to your every need. On a tight budget? No worries. Hostels and guest houses offer a more authentic, down-to-earth experience. And hey, if you really want to live it up, there are some seriously swanky villas and private rentals available. But here's my advice. Get out of your comfort zone. Talk to the locals. Ask them where they eat, where they hang out. You'll be surprised at the hidden gems you might uncover.
Sun, sand, and sea adventures. Look, I'm not a beach bum, all right? I'd rather be elbow deep in a plate of spicy noodles than working on my tan. But even I got to admit, the beaches in Trinidad and Tobago, there's something else. We're talking picture-perfect stretches of white sand, turquoise waters that sparkle like a bad romance novel, and enough palm trees to make you think you've died and gone to coconut heaven. Maracas Beach, Pigeon Point, Englishman's Bay, these are just a few of the spots that'll have you reaching for your swimsuit and slathering on the sunscreen. But listen, if you think this is just a place to work on your tan and sip cocktails with little umbrellas, you're sorely mistaken. Trinidad and Tobago's waters are teeming with life, my friends. We're talking world-class diving and snorkeling, kayaking through mangroves, even swimming with giant leatherback turtles.
echoes of the past. Alright, let's get one thing straight. I'm not a history buff. I don't get my kicks from dusty museums and crumbling ruins. But even I can appreciate a good story. And believe me, Trinidad and Tobago have plenty of those. Take Fort George, for example. Perched high above Port of Spain, this 19th century fort offers panoramic views of the city and a glimpse into the island's colonial past. Then there's the Magnificent Seven, a collection of architectural gems that line Queen's Park Savannah. Each building tells a story, a testament to the island's rich and often turbulent history. But the real history, the real stories, they're not confined to museums and monuments. They're alive in the streets, in the food, in the music, in the smiles and stories of the people.
Nature's playground. Look, I'm a city guy through and through. Give me the gritty alleys, the late-night dives, the hum of neon lights over a pristine rainforest any day. But even I have to admit, Trinidad and Tobago's natural beauty, it'll make you want to trade in your concrete jungle for a pair of hiking boots and a map. We're talking lush rainforests teeming with exotic wildlife, cascading waterfalls that'll take your breath away, and a pitch lake so big, so bizarre, it'll make you question everything you thought you knew about geology. Hike through the rainforest to the top of Mount Tamana. For breathtaking views, explore the caves at Aripo, or get your heart racing with a zip-lining adventure through the canopy.
All right, let's talk about the real reason you came here, to party. And when it comes to partying, Trinidad and Tobago, they wrote the book, Carnival. It's not just a festival, it's a way of life. For weeks leading up to Lent, the islands explode in a riot of color, music, and dance. We're talking elaborate costumes, pulsating soca and calypso rhythms, and enough rum to sink a ship. But even if you're not here for Carnival, the music never really stops. Head to a local bar or nightclub and you'll find yourself swept up in the infectious energy of steel pan bands, reggae, and chutney music.
Listen, I don't like to play favorites when it comes to food. Every culture, every country has something unique and delicious to offer. But Trinidad and Tobago, they've got a way of getting under your skin. And I'm not just talking about the heat from the Scotch bonnet peppers. The cuisine here is a reflection of its people, a melting pot of flavours that'll tantalise your taste buds. We're talking doubles, a messy, delicious street food staple, roti, a savoury flatbread filled with curried goodness, and callaloo, a creamy soup made with dasheen leaves, coconut milk and spices. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty, to try something new, to step outside of your comfort zone. Trust me, your taste buds will thank you.
Listen, I'm not here to sugarcoat things. Bad things can happen anywhere, even in paradise. But that shouldn't stop you from experiencing all that Trinidad and Tobago have to offer. Like any destination, a little common sense goes a long way. Be aware of your surroundings. Avoid flashing expensive jewelry or large sums of cash, and trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. When it comes to transportation, taxis are generally safe and reliable, but agree on a fare beforehand to avoid any surprises. And if you're feeling adventurous, try hopping on a maxi taxi, the local minibuses that crisscross the islands. Just be prepared for a wild ride. Look, we're all just visitors passing through this world, and it's our responsibility to leave it a little better than we found it. Trinidad and Tobago are home to some of the most incredible biodiversity on the planet. From the leatherback turtles nesting on the beaches to the vibrantly colored birds flitting through the rainforest. This is a place where nature reigns supreme. So, be mindful of your impact. Avoid single-use plastics, support local businesses, and respect the customs and traditions of the people who call these islands home.
Well, folks, there you have it. A whirlwind tour through the heart and soul of Trinidad and Tobago. We've explored ancient ruins, sampled spicy delicacies, and danced to the infectious rhythms of the islands. But here's the thing about travel. It's not just about checking things off a list. It's about opening yourself up to new experiences, to new cultures, to new ways of seeing the world. So what are you waiting for? Book that flight, pack your bags, and get ready to experience the magic of Trinidad and Tobago for yourself. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Trinidad and Tobago. It's a place where the old world collides with the new, where the rhythms of Africa, India, Europe, and the Caribbean blend together in a symphony of sound and flavor. It's a place where you can lose yourself in the chaos of carnival or find tranquility on a secluded beach. It's a place that gets under your skin, that stays with you long after you've left. This ain't a place for your all-inclusive resort types, your margaritas by the pool crowd. This is a place for those who like their experiences raw, unfiltered, and full of life. It's a place for those who understand that the best travel experiences, the ones that truly stay with you, are often found not in the guidebooks, but in the unexpected encounters, the shared meals, the late-night conversations. So come hungry, come curious, and come ready to embrace the unexpected. Trinidad and Tobago are waiting.